What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Big Cool Entertainment, and today I'm here with the Walking Dead review. Last night, season 6 of The Walking Dead premiered. It was highly anticipated about a lot of people. I grew to the show late. I binge watched it on Netflix a few months ago, and I've been hooked ever since. Going into last night's episode, excuse me, there was a lot of anticipation and high expectations. I must admit that watching the whole 90-minute episode, I kind of did feel that I wanted more out of the episode. Don't get me wrong, it was a very good episode. I love the dialogue. I love the flashbacks and how everything came to together in the first episode. But I thought it would be more explosiveness, more maybe some more fighting, maybe some more just explosiveness, killing more zombies and more conflict. But they chose a different approach from the one they did with last year's season 5 premiere, which was a great episode, probably the best premiere of this show. It was high packed, explosive, energized, a lot of fighting, a lot of killing, and a lot of action. So I don't really want to compare the two, but I did feel like I wanted more. It was more to be desired, but overall, it was a very good episode. I'm going to watch it again for the second time sometime, either tonight or sometime this week. But I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. Rick, and Morgan's dialogue were great. You can kind of see a little tension between them, nothing too serious, but Morgan is now in the, roles are kind of reversed. First, in season 3, when they met back up again, Rick was trying to convince Morgan that, to come back to how he was when he first met him. Morgan at that point had went through a lot. Obviously, his wife in the first season was bit and turned to a zombie. And then by the time we caught back up with him in season 3, his son Dwayne had been, bit by his wife in turn, and Morgan was feeling grief for that. But along that, time between season 3 and the end of season 5, Morgan has had a transformation where he feels that all life is precious, which is true. And he has a whole new outlook on life, and he's trying to get Rick to get back to that point because Rick was like Morgan once before. He was trusting, he was honest, and he believed that giving people a fair shake. Now he doesn't take chances anymore, as he let Morgan know in last night's episode that he doesn't take chances anymore, and he's kind of taking on a dictatorship type of role, which kind of rubs people the wrong way. And I believe that that's going to cause a problem, with some of his closest friends and other Alexandrians throughout this season. What else went on last night? Obviously, zombies were everywhere. I think Greg Nicotero on the Talking Dead after the Walking Dead season premiere went off said it was close to 1,000 zombies they used for the first episode. I mean, this was an infestation of zombies. They were everywhere. The most I've ever seen, and I'm pretty sure fellow Walking Dead fans around the world has ever seen as well. They were everywhere, and that is definitely going to take up a couple of episodes this season to the Alexandrians get the situation fixed. It was a lot of flashbacks. I think his name was Ethan, the guy who was on the show, but we didn't really see him. At least I didn't see him last season. But he was the guy that helped Reggie, Deanna's now deceased husband, put up the walls, and he was at odds with Rick. He was arguing Rick, battling him on ideas. Rick, feel the need to, take the initiative to, get the zombies under control. And Ethan was kind of like, he wasn't really with that idea. He always had the question with Rick, and he just didn't trust Rick's judgment. And Rick being a guy who's the leader of the survivors, who's been in this apocalypse for 5+ years now. He's killed dozens of zombies, walkers, whatever you want to call them, as well as humans. He knows how to defend himself, what to do, what not to do, and he's been a very good leader thus far, in this show. And Ethan, he's probably pronouncing his name wrong, or not pronouncing it wrong, but probably got the wrong name. But he's just ignorant to it. He's weak. He's not accustomed to, fighting and killing off zombies. As you will see later on in the show, what happens to him. But Morgan, constantly in this episode tries to convince Rick that he's that same person. He know he is, and he kind of gets to him a little bit when Ethan tried to go behind Rick's back. Rick called him, wanted to kill him, had the gun to his head, but Morgan talked him out of doing it. And Rick had told Morgan, well, you know what, I'm glad you did that. I mean, because he really wanted to kill him because it makes things easier. He doesn't have to answer questions, and everything would just flow, smoothly if he doesn't have people who are, questioning his every move. He just wants people to just listen, and he's trying to get the Alexandrians to fight back and find that toughness that they're gonna need to, survive this apocalypse. But like I said, anyway, Ethan, he gets bit by a zombie, showing his inexperience with an old walker. Got bit in the face, was screaming. Obviously sound attracts the walkers, and Rick was trying to get him to calm down, but he wouldn't. And Rick, so Rick had to do what he had to do and put the knife through the back of his head, killing him. Or yeah, he's pretty much dead anyway. He got bit in the face. Nothing you can pretty much do about that. Daryl and Rick seem to have some growing tension that's a little noticeable in this first episode. Daryl lets him know that because Rick said by taking care of each other. I mean that he's gonna tell Deanna not to go recruit more people, and Daryl feels that because Rick said we're taking care of each other. Daryl says that by taking care of each other is going to get more people, making themselves stronger and stronger. Which to a certain extent I do agree with, because the more people you have, the better chance you have of being successful in defeating any challenge that comes your way. But Rick is stuck in his ways. Rick is the leader, and he wants things done his way. He has a scene with Ron, the son of the guy he murdered, and he was just trying to tell him that you shouldn't be out here, because he had followed them, and he had some ill will towards Rick, understandably so. He killed his father, and he followed Rick and Morgan out, and he wanted to know where his father would be, was going to be buried. And Rick kind of was upset, not at the fact that him for wanting to know, but just he putting himself in danger. And he was trying to explain to him that I will show you how to survive out here, but not right now. You need to get back to Alexandria and get behind those walls and back to the safe haven. And it kind of causes a conflict between Jessica and Rick as Rick goes in to get more flares. She's in there and she confronts him and says, I know what Ron told me about what happened earlier. And Rick tries to explain himself, which she doesn't want to hear it, understandably so. Rick cannot be telling the son of the guy he's killed how to do things. It's in bad taste, at least right now. It's still fresh wounds, and it just needs to be distance kept between those guys. He offered to help him learn how to shoot and all that, but Jessica said that Rosita's gonna help her, which she's gonna help her older son Ron, and Sam, the youngest boy, will get taught by her as well. But obviously, they haven't been talking, haven't been interacting a while. Like I thought they might have a blossoming, relationship, even with the death of her husband by the hands of Rick. But that may not be what's going to happen in this season. Glenn and Nicholas, as you all know, they still have some tension. Glenn is a forgiving person. Obviously, as you've seen at the end of season 5, he did something I wouldn't have done. He caused the death of Noah by ignoring Glenn's orders and breaking out of the door, causing the zombies to get Noah, eat him alive, and Glenn was left with the guilt, and he had to watch his friend die. He also lured Glenn into the woods and tried to kill him at the end of season 5, but obviously that didn't happen. Glenn had a chance to kill him, but he didn't do it. He let him go and took him back to Alexandria, where he could get medical attention, both of them, because they beat the hell out of each other, pretty much. Simple as that. But Glenn is more assertive this time that you follow my rules, you follow my instructions, and everything will be smooth. And Nicholas is kind of receptive to it, which is a good thing. I still don't like Nicholas. You know, he has a lot to prove to get the trust back of Glenn and the others at Alexandria, because he did cause the death of Noah, being selfish and scary, which a lot of Alexandrians are scary. But I think they're going to, it's more to that storyline as the season progresses. You had Father Gabriel offer to help Rick and the rest of the guys and gals, but Rick sternly told him no because he doesn't trust him. Priest Gabriel told Deanna some things that, you wouldn't want to tell, especially some people that helped you along the way. And, they haven't forgave him for that. At least Rick hasn't. Um, what else? Morgan and Michonne had a little dialogue, and it was kind of a funny moment. Morgan asked Michonne, did she eat his protein bar? It was a peanut butter one. She said no. Get a little chuckle out of the audience. A little light moment in a serious and emotional show. Tara wakes up from a coma, not aware that Noah was dead. She made a joke because Eugene had walked in and he kind of saved her life, and he was happy, and he was, she's alive or whatever he said, and he was staring at her, and Tara was like, oh, I'm getting a creepy feeling. I'm gonna get Noah to protect me, and that's when the room kind of went silent, a little, dim, like the expressions and the attitudes went downward because they all know that Noah is no longer alive, thanks to Nicholas. So Maggie tells, later in the show, later in the scene, Maggie tells Tara that what happened, and she's pissed off, understandably so, because she become close to Glenn. Glenn and her helped each other out at the end of season 4 when the governor, whatnot, had, lied to, those people and, caused the war that wasn't necessary. But, her and Maggie have grown close. Maggie told her that you're one of the most important people in my life. Gave her a hug. They embraced each other. And from that, we'll see what happens with that. Carol is just Carol. She hasn't really popped off yet. Daryl is Daryl. Sasha and Abraham had some good scenes together. They both ride in a car, alongside Daryl, who's on his motorcycle, deterring the walkers toward away from Alexandria, and taking them far away to get them, to get that big herd away. And pretty much, it was a slow episode, but it was good. It was a different type of great episode. It wasn't, like I said, season 5 explosive and action packed, but it was great in its own right. Had the white and black, flashbacks, which I could do without. It didn't really matter to me. And it was an overall good episode. And at the end, as they think their plan's going right, somebody lets off a big horn, which gets the attention of the walkers. Instead of the walkers continuing on to wherever it was Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl were leading them, they turn back towards the woods, which you have Morgan, Michonne, and Rick in. And that spells disaster. Whoever it is doing it, must have been watching, Rick them maybe have an inside person who's telling them this information. Who knows? But it could either be the wolves, which most people suspect that it will be the wolves behind this whole situation. But it also could be Ron. Ron does feel some animosity towards Rick. Rick is the leader. He wants to make him look bad. He wants to do anything to avenge, I guess, his father's death. And by doing this, it'll show that Rick has some flaws, which we all know, but he that he doesn't have a full grasp on the whole situation in Alexandria. So who knows about that? I'm looking forward to episode number 2. Like I said, I love this show. The premiere was really good. I'm sorry for the late review. I will try to get the reviews done 30 minutes to an hour after the initial episode. If not, I will get them to you the next day. But, next week's episode will be good. In this episode, you didn't get a lot of Carl, which you can't get everybody in, every character in each episode because there's so many characters. But like I said, Carl definitely will be in the next one. He's gonna show Priest Gabriel how to shoot, even though he's kind of angry at him. Carol's in this episode more. I think it might be hey, what's her name? Enig, whatever, Carl's love interest in my mind. Her flashback of how she got to Alexandria. It's like she's covered in blood in the car, her car covered in blood, and she's, scared. She says this place is too big to be, protected. There's too many holes. You can easily get in and out. So we'll see what episode number 2 brings, but it'll definitely look like it's going to be more explosive, more violence, more action, and I look forward to watching it and giving you my review. In the comment section below, leave comments, ask your questions, subscribe to this channel, like the video, tell a friend to subscribe to Big Cool Entertainment for more TV show reviews, sports news, movie reviews, and any other thing I feel like talking about. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.